At the shoreline in a snowstorm, I was baptized like a newborn in the static. There was a force inside a dream, so lift your head up, come up clean in the static. You were a wild thing, pretending to be tame. I was a wild thing, trapped inside a cage. I wasn't looking for deliverance. When you walked in from the wilderness, I was yours and you were mine. But everything returns on time to the static. Though the circuit boards erase flashes and memories still remain in the static. In between the ones and zeros, you will find me if you let go in the static. You were a wild thing, pretending to be tame. I was a wild thing, trapped inside a cage. I wasn't looking for deliverance. When you walked in from the wilderness, I was yours and you were mine. But everything turns on time to the static.
Hey Steve, what's going on? This is the almighty WWE champion. Hey man, I heard you had this new YouTube channel, Hill Stevens. I just want to give you a shout out. I'm going to go check it out. And I think everybody else needs to make sure to tune into Around the Point, because we've been contracted. And if you don't tune in, you're going to get some business from the Herb business.
The fact that I'm still up and doing this right now is amazing. At times, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I impress myself at times. I amaze myself. That's probably the correct word I want to choose here. So, what is up, everybody? Happy Monday after. Let me redo that again. Happy Monday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, June 7th, 2021. It is 5:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in New Jersey. Beautiful day here in New Jersey. It actually rained early in the day. We had a little rain shower. But after that, the sun came back out and said, "Fuck you, motherfucker." So there's that. So I decided to come back on again. Yes. In case you guys don't know, early in the day. Well, let me retract that. Let me take it back a little bit further than that. Last night, myself, Big Mike, and Chase and Walter, we all got on. How you doing, by the way? How are you? Hi. We were live for another installment of our fight reactions. As you guys remember, it was Logan Paul versus Floyd Money Mayweather last night. And I know a lot of people had their point of views of the fight, have their stance, if you will. All of a sudden, everyone's a fight expert, if you get what I'm trying to say. So we did a live reaction. Yes, I'm going to say it right now. And I know a lot of you who are going to be listening to this or watching live, what have you, are going to be saying to yourselves, ha ha, Steve, why would you do that? But yes, I forked over $50 for the event. I forked over the money. It is what it is. You learn from it, you move on, and you learn to accept shit for what it's worth. So there is that. And not for nothing, we had fun. I had fun. We all did. If I told you that a fight on the undercard would be the best fight on the show, you probably wouldn't believe me. It rained in Miami. It rained, and then we had the main event. We had Floyd Money Mayweather versus Logan Paul. And here's the thing about it: they told you the rules before the fight was even announced. I know a lot of people are upset. Oh, this is bullshit. There's no winner. This reminds me a lot when Mike Tyson fought Evander Holyfield. Holy shit. It reminded me a lot back in November when Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones. And the rules were announced, I think, a week prior to the fight. And it went over everyone's head. But they announced the rules. They announced it for you. It's not like, hey, you don't know the rules, but you knew about it. And then the day of the fight, they fought, it ended, and everyone was mad. Like, oh, how could this be? There's no winner. But they told you the fucking rules before you forked over your money. But you were curious to see it. In this situation with Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather, yes, you knew going in, it was a shit show. It was a complete circus act. But you were curious. Let's be honest here. A lot of you and your mother were probably saying to yourselves, oh my God, I want to see this because for the first time, I want to see Floyd Mayweather get a win. I want to get behind Mayweather. I guarantee a lot of you over the years never got behind Floyd Mayweather. You always cheer for Robert Guerrero. You always cheer for Marcos Maidana twice. You always cheer for Manny Pacquiao. You always cheer for Miguel Cotto. You always cheer for Juan Manuel Marquez. You always cheer for Victor Ortiz, Arturo Gatti, Morales, you name it, right? Andre Berto, Conor McGregor. That's all you guys cheer for whenever Floyd stepped into the ring. Shane Mosley, I can go on. Zab Judah is another one. And I'll be honest here, over the years, I never lost against Floyd. And what I mean with that is I always place money on Floyd Mayweather. Because of Floyd over the years, I paid my rent. I paid my bills because of Floyd. So going into this fight, let's be honest here. Yes, I forked over the 50, knowing what was going to happen. But I guarantee all of you were curious to see what, because I even had people who don't even watch boxing. But they're asking me, yo, what time is the fight? What time the fight started? I had to tell them what was going on and shit. And I had people asking me, oh, who won the fight? Who won? I'm like, no one won. But let's be honest here, okay? If you were just to look at this from a fight perspective, no rules, just straight fight after school, you know, in the playground or, you know, in the parking lot back alley, you would say, hey, Floyd Mayweather won. Floyd Mayweather outsmarted this kid. And that's fine. However, if you're one of these people that are going to say to yourselves, oh, hey, you know, Logan Paul, who is a YouTuber who's 0-1. Let's not forget that he's 0-1. He lost to KSI early, I want to say near the end of 2019 in LA. It was on the Zone. It was another, you know, what have you, right? But he lost that fight. Right? All that, right? He's stepping into the ring, even if it's an exhibition, right? Against arguably the greatest defensive fighter of our generation, Floyd Money Mayweather. Yes, Floyd Mayweather's 40-something years old. He's a grandfather now, but, you know, again, he's beaten them all. He's fought them all, right? And you test yourself against that. And you last all 8 rounds. You got some hits in on Mayweather. That in itself, you probably would say to yourself, that's also a victory in itself. You would say, just for that, Logan won. And that's fine too. But I already knew what I was going to expect out of this shit at the end of the day. And knowing that, I forked over my $50. And one more thing, Showtime, please, no more fights on Sunday nights. No. It just felt weird. It felt out of place. If it was up to me, I would have had this on a Saturday night, obviously. But hey, it is what it is. The commentary was a shit show. Mauro Ranallo needs a fucking haircut. I said that on Twitter. And someone tweeted at me, you know, this is the reason why, you know, Mauro Ranallo no longer on Twitter. No, motherfuckers. No. Corey Graves is the reason why Mauro Ranallo's not on Twitter no more at the end of the day. Now, again, I am exhausted as it is. Like I mentioned before, we did that stream. That was like 4 hours, a 4-hour stream on YouTube and Twitch. And then early this morning at 5 a.m., because again, today was my day off from both jobs. And I'm like, you know what? Why not, right? It's my day off. Dominion's on tonight, New Japan. What if I did a live reaction to that? So once we were off the air, me and Chase, Walter, Mike were still, me, Chase, and Walter. Let me correct myself here. We were still chatting and like, yo, Chase, do you want to watch New Japan with me? Like do a live reaction? Yeah, no problem. My thought was the show starting at 2 a.m. Eastern time. Finding out is at 5 in the morning Eastern time, my time, Chase's time because he's in California, 2 in the morning. So we're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a quick little nap and get back up, wake up around 4 in the morning time, you know, and be ready to go. And here's the thing about it, okay? I woke up before my alarm because I set up 2 alarms. One at 4:20, one at 4:30 a.m. And I got up literally, I shit you not, at 4 in the morning. And here's the thing. Because of my early AM job, I get up at 3 in the morning. So I become accustomed of just getting up early for the fuck of just getting up early. It just happens. It's just, I'm used to it now. So I got up, I laid in bed and I'm gonna call Chase. I'm gonna call him. All right. He picked up, what have you, like, yo, let's do this. So we set up, and here's the thing. I know there's a lot of YouTubers, there's a lot of podcasters that do these live reaction streams when it comes to New Japan. And let me just say this now, because I tried it for the first time. Bless you guys. I seriously mean that. Bless you guys. You guys stayed up. You guys usually stay up, literally, or get up early as hell. You do your reaction stream, what have you. And then after that, if you're on the East Coast, like I am, you like, fuck all this shit. I'm going to work. You don't call out. You just go to work. Those are the true MVPs, in my opinion. So me and Chase were doing this, and at the second match, it had to be the I think it was after the 6-person tag, right? After LIJ versus Suzuki-gun, right? Of Sonata, Naito, and Bushi versus Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, and Dookie. Chase was like, yo, bro, I'm tapping out, man. I'm tired. And I could understand, bro. I get it. I had no issue with it. So he hopped off, and it was just me by myself on the stream. Me by myself. And yes, I'm going to say this right now. During the stream, I fell asleep twice. I was tired. It just happened. You know what it is? I said this on Twitter. If I didn't have this, I would have been staying up. Shout out to the good people at Game Fuel. My personal favorite is the Charged Berry Blast. It's so amazing. I like about it too is the cap on it. You can just do this and it closes. If you want to open it again, just the same way. I just lift this up and then I just move this back a little bit and I take my sips. So amazing. So amazing. So there's that. I thought overall the New Japan show, listen, I know Japan is getting hit with the pandemic. Still, their vaccination procedure is different from ours here in the States. When you look at us right now, it looks like we are near the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel. We're at the finish line almost, if you will. We are better now than where we were a year ago around this time, right? With the vaccines and all that stuff. Japan and other countries, things are different. And it's just the way that it is. So I'm watching the show, and normally with these Dominion shows, they're like 7 matches in, what have you. This show only had 5 matches. And for whatever reason, each match, for whatever reason, went long. It felt long to my liking. And here's the thing about it, New Japan. You're not having these big, crazy cards. You could lower the timing of these matches. But again, for me, they felt long. I thought the show's okay, to be honest with you. And again, you're talking to someone right now, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really watch that much New Japan. I don't. I know a lot of people that do, and they do the reviews, and it's awesome. Very well done. Me, on the other hand, because of my schedule with work and all that stuff, I just don't have time really to sit down and watch all this wrestling. Put it this way as well. I watched yesterday also, the NWA pay-per-view, When Our Shadows Fall. And again, I don't really watch that much NWA anymore. And I watched the pay-per-view. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But I did watch the New Japan show. I thought overall, like I mentioned earlier, it was pretty solid, okay? The show kicked off with the 6-person tag of it was not my bad. It was a 10-man tag. I'm sorry. It was Bullet Club, Taiji Shimori, Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, Chase Owens, and El Fantasma versus Chaos of Sho, Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi. They're accompanied by Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace. So the ace of New Japan opened the show here. And I thought overall it was an okay match. Everyone was a little over the place, as you expect, right? But it was all said and done. The Bullet Club ended up getting the win. It's just one of those things where, it is what it is. Bullet Club is still a thing over there. So, yeah, there's that, honestly. After that, we had Los Ingobernables de Japón, LIJ, Sonata, Tetsuya Naito, and Bushi versus Suzuki-gun, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, and Doki. Another multi-person match. And here's the thing about it. And again, I get it. It's custom in Japan to do this type of stuff, to get everyone on the card. And I get that. For me, I'm good, bruh. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And not that I thought it was a boring match. You got to remember, I don't do these streams that early in the morning at 5 a.m. like other people who usually do. And I guarantee all those people that usually do it on the norm, they usually on Sunday, whenever the show is on, they take an early nap just so when they wake up, they're ready to go, they're charged. I didn't do that. So you got to keep that in mind. So my eyes were like this during the show. I was like, I kid you not. It happened. And for any other content creator, that's embarrassing. Oh, that's humiliating. No, bro, I just take it on the chin, bro. I took it like a champ. I even posted it on Twitter at Heel Steven, by the way. By the way, this is, again, Steve's Kitchen. Yes, I know this is around the point overlay and all that stuff. It is what it is. But you guys know I do cooking videos, right? And being that I'm moving, I don't have the time to do a cooking video until I move. So I decided to, you know what? Let me try something different here. Let me take the concept of the name Steve's Kitchen, you know what I'm saying, and make this into like a wrestling podcast, see how it goes. And again, the idea is when it's my kitchen, I have control of what I want to do in the kitchen. Here in this podcast form, I talk about what I want to talk about. I'm in control. You guys are the guest at my restaurant, what have you. You're sitting down, you're enjoying your 3-course meal, your appetizer, right? Your entree, then your dessert. In some places, some chefs, they're generous and they give you a complimentary chef treat, if you will. It could be caviar, could be I don't know, duck breast. I don't fucking know. You kind of get the idea. But I do love caviar. Caviar is fucking amazing. But back to this New Japan thing, though. Back to this New Japan. From there, you know, again, LIJ got the win, and there was that. You had El Desperado versus Yo for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Let's be honest here. I thought the match was okay. It's just nothing that I'm not. It's just something that I'm not going to go crazy for. And again, you're talking to someone who doesn't really watch that much New Japan, if you will. I'm surprised that El Desperado is still the champion. I personally feel he's just what's the word I'm looking for here? The word I'm looking for, he's just a temporary champion until they come up with a better idea of what to do with the title. That's just the vibe I get from all of this. Okay. But it felt like his run it's been forever. After the match, members of the Bullet Club came out. El Fantasmo came out with I believe it was Taiji Shimori, and they attacked all the guys in the ring. And then I guess El Fantasmo was gonna speak. And then Taiji Shimori took the mic away from him and basically, I guess, challenged El Desperado for the title down the road on a future show. So there's that too, I guess. From there, we had Kota Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb. I thought this match was pretty good. Jeff Cobb, I'll say this right now, has really, really benefited from being in Japan. Really, I think honestly he made the right choice. I know there was talks at one time of him going to WWE, and honestly, I've enjoyed seeing what he's done. Whenever I do get a chance to watch New Japan, I know he's part of the of that faction with Will Ospreay, and I think the Great Okan and Tanare and all that stuff, right? I think they're called the Evolution. I think I think they're called what's it called here? What's the name of their faction? The Revolution, I think it is called. I think that's the name of the faction, right? If I'm wrong on this, I am wrong. Okay, let's see here. What's the name of this faction? I'm gonna regret just doing this right now, but fuck it. Okay. But I do hope all of you guys are enjoying your Monday, whatever it is that you're doing. Obviously, it's a nice day outside. Let's see here. Let's see, what's the name of this faction in New Japan? I know it's a different name. The Evolution, Revolution, right? My bad. The United Empire. God damn it. I feel like an asshole now. I feel like a piece of shit. I really, really do. I seriously feel like a piece of shit for doing that. But they're called the United Empire, right? And it's good to see that he's got, and again, it was a good back and forth. When eventually it was all said and done, Kota Ibushi got the win. And then we saw what happened at the end of the show. Then we got to the main event. We had, for the vacant IWGP Heavyweight Championship, we had Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi. And I'll be honest with you guys, going into this, I literally thought that Shingo was not going to win. I thought, honestly, okay, they're going to go with old reliable. Old Reliable being Okada. And it's funny because there's an interview that I guess that they conducted on New Japan World where Okada is basically shitting on this title. He does not like the idea that, it's a unified belt. He doesn't like the fact that you basically erase history, right? And we don't even, again, you want to believe that that's really how he feels, or maybe it's part of a work, right? But there was that. And I want to see how it's coming off too. And I'm coming off good. I'm coming off amazing, by the way. And again, just a good back and forth. And there's a spot, I think, where Shingo hit a Made in Japan on the outside. And that shit just looked, oh my God, it looked brutal. But just good back and forth, good near falls here. And eventually, when it was all said and done, Shingo Takagi shocks everyone, myself included. Because again, I literally thought that Okada was going to get the W here. And it didn't happen. Shingo is now the IWGP World Champion or Heavyweight Champion, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I'm fine with that. I think it's something different. You're not going back to Old Reliable, right? It's you're pushing someone new. I'm all for that. Yes, this is technically still Will Ospreay's championship. He's out with an injury. We don't know how long he's going to be gone. Now, I did say this also on the stream. I want to believe that their plan for Tokyo Dome in 2022 was to have Ospreay with Okada in some capacity. But now that you have Shingo with the belt, and we don't know how long Ospreay's going to be gone. We don't know. Now, let's assume he comes back just in time for Wrestle Kingdom. This is an idea. Yeah, I don't know how many of you may feel about this, but just hear me out on this. Wrestle Kingdom, I don't know if it's going to be 2 nights. I just hope it's 1 night, but whatever. You do Ospreay versus Shingo. Even though Shingo, yes, his next defense is against Shingo's next defense is against Kota Ibushi. They made that clear after he called them out and all that stuff. But for Wrestle Kingdom, shut up and take my money, but I'm just throwing it out there. Will Ospreay versus Shingo, title for title, because the idea is, hey, Will Ospreay still think he's a champion, right? Now, I don't think he's going to show up with his own version of the belt, but let's say he does. You do Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi in the Tokyo Dome in a ladder match. A la WrestleMania 10. Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon. I'll be down for it. I'll be down. In the chat here, we have Spaz, motherfucking Phoenix. RKO for Money in the Bank. My bad, Riker. Oh, boy. No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I don't know. I'm good, man. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah, that's how you feel, buddy. But that was basically New Japan. Again, I thought overall it was a solid show. Now, an idea that I have for Okada, I mean, I don't know what's next for Okada right now. If it was up to me, I'd fly him to the States, get him on AEW. There's talks of AEW New Japan, and I know a couple of weeks ago they had Yuji Nagata wrestle Moxley. I think at this point in juncture, I mean, maybe by the time we hit All Out, we do, I don't know. Obviously, you have Okada show up in a capacity in a match. We'll see, but again, it's an idea. Who knows, really? Just to see the world burn. LOL. I guess so, man. Hey, you know it's funny. They actually posted "Happy Birthday" to him on Twitter, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm good." I myself included. The fact that this guy still has a job is amazing to me, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, listen, and this is what I'm going to say too about this. And I know people are upset about why they're doing this, why Riker still has a job. Listen, at the end of the day, everyone has a right to believe what they want to believe in. At the end of the day, that's the world that we live in. Sadly, that's how you feel, but that's just the way that it is. We're not always going to agree. There's people that are going to agree with the way you feel, what your beliefs are, your point of view is politically, what have you. And that may be awesome. That's awesome if they agree with what your point of views are and all that stuff. Right? At the same time, on the other side of the coin, I wish I had a quarter here, goddammit. You're gonna have folks who are not gonna agree with you. You're gonna have folks that are gonna question what you're gonna say and based on the way they've been brought up, and that's just the way that it is. And that's fine too. Just food for thought, everybody. Food for thought. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean you guys can't work together. I guarantee you people at your jobs or you go to school with, what have you, that don't agree with you, that may have different point of views. It happens. Just ask. Moving on. I did see the clip. From Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder, showed up at GCW last night. It was crazy. NWA had a pay-per-view last night, and they did it early because they didn't want to compete with Logan Paul versus Mayweather. But oh boy, who would have thought Matt Cardona, right? The former Zack Ryder, right? Took the steam away from the NWA last night. Who would have fucking thought? So while the NWA is having their pay-per-view, which I'm going to get into just a little bit, GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, had a show in Atlantic City called Zombies Walk, something like that. And I believe in the main, you had their champion, obviously, Nick Gage, who had an episode of Dark Side of the Ring, right? He had a match, and I think he won. But at the end of the match, someone showed up in like an Undertaker, one of those people with the hoods on and shit. I forgot what they were called, right? A druid. There you go, a druid costume, right? And the dude had like the Moxley pose, the Moxley stance, right? Because if you guys don't remember, John Moxley is supposed to face Nick Gage somewhere down the road at a GCW show. Now, but prior to all this, Nick Gage on Twitter was calling out Matt Cardona as Zack Ryder, wanting to fight Zack Ryder and all that stuff, calling out Matt Cardona on Twitter for a fight. Come to Atlantic City to fight him and all that stuff. And Matt Cardona on Twitter was like responding, dude, I don't want to fight you and all that stuff. I respect you, this and that. Back and forth being friendly here. So after Nick Gage's match, he's celebrating. Again, he had probably a death match, right? That's his thing. And out comes this guy dressed up in a druid with the Moxley stance, right? Even hits the paradigm shift or the Death Rider, right? The DDT that he hit, that Moxley usually hits, right? When he takes off the mask, it's Matt Cardona. And everyone in the fucking building at the Showboat was just shitting on the Ryder. They were saying, fuck you, Ryder. And here's the thing about it, yo. Awesome, fucking amazing. Bravo, GCW. Bravo. Well done. I really feel, honestly, yo, this is what Matt Cardona needed to do once he left WWE. Granted, he got cut during the pandemic. There weren't really that many shows. But this is what I feel like he should have done fresh coming out of WWE to get the ball rolling. Yes, granted, he's wrestling in Impact. He's wrestling in AEW. He wrestled in AEW. I know he's doing this whole injury angle on Impact. I think he's done with Impact Wrestling. But I thought this was very well done. I enjoyed it. And it looks like now Matt Cardona is going to be challenging Nick Gage for the GCW title. When is that going to be? I have no clue, but I'm intrigued. I am fucking intrigued. Good on Matt Cardona and good on Nick Gage and all that stuff. So from that, let's get into the NWA real quick. So yesterday in the afternoon, they had a pay-per-view called When Our Shadows Fall, right? And this was their first show in front of a crowd post-pandemic, right? In Atlanta. Oh boy, this show, man. This fucking, read in the comments, by the way, Spaz right? Due to budget cuts, Hell in a Cell is now hate in a crate. I'm down. Not for nothing. When I was a kid, I used to have the old WWE action figures and all that stuff, right? Those milk crates always came through in the clutch, yo. They really, really did. Whenever you needed a cage match or Hell in a Cell, I used the milk crates. Fucking well done. But anyway, the NWA had a pay-per-view last night. When Our Shadows Fall, first show in front of a crowd at some capacity right? And again, I'm happy to know that all these companies are coming back with crowds, right? It was announced that Impact Wrestling going to have a crowd for Slammiversary. Ring of Honor going to have a crowd for Best in the World in July, on July 11th, I believe it is. MLW is going to have a crowd too in Philadelphia when they go back on the road. AEW is already selling out Daly's place, and they'll be going back on the road real soon in front of a live crowd, and so is WWE. So we're getting back our normalcy, if you will. We're getting things back to normal, and I'm happy. I really, really am. So they had this show, and I gotta say, overall, NWA, bro, what the fuck, man. And again, you're talking to someone who doesn't really watch that much of the NWA. Not like I used to. You know what I mean? We can all agree here that the NWA took a huge hit because of the pandemic, because a lot of the talent left and went to AEW or elsewhere, what have you, right? And it is what it is, just the way that things are. But yeah, man, I watched this pay-per-view, and I gotta say, man, this wasn't it, man. This really wasn't it. So you had on commentary Joe Galley, who I think is amazing, Tim Storm, who does have a good voice. He does have the voice for commentary. And then you have Velvet Sky, which whatever. So the first match on this, and again, I'm not gonna go into detail with this. I'm just gonna give quick results here. You had a fatal 4-way tag team match. You had the End versus the La Rebellion, Maria, just basically the other Rebellion versus Slice Boogie and Marsh Rocket versus Sal Ranallo and Rudo. Right. The match, for what it was worth, it was a solid opener, I guess, right? Get everybody in there. La Rebellion on Maria was via pinfall, so there was that too. Your second match here was the Pope versus Tyrus. It was a non-title match, right? Non-title. Obviously, Pope is the television champion. See, what the NWA does, right? What the NWA does, which I think is cool. It's a cool concept with the television title. After you successfully defend the belt 7 times, you can switch. You can trade the belt in and get yourself a shot at the NWA World title. Now, watching that, I'm saying to myself, I really wish AEW would have taken that concept with the TNT Championship. After a certain amount of defenses, you can get yourself a shot at the AEW World title. I wish they would have done something like that, but it is what it is. Reading the comments here, Diamond Dallas Page versus Page. Oh my God, this is a fucking mismatch. Versus Nick Gage versus Christian Cage versus Brian Cage versus Adam Page versus Gage, and Rage Cage would be Sage. And you're also missing there Paige Van Zandt. Also missing there Sage Northcutt. But who are we kidding here? Okay. But yeah, that really would be a Rage in the Cage. Why the fuck not, right? Where it was I here. But you had again, like I mentioned, you did have Pope versus Tyrus. I thought this match, for what it was worth, it was okay. Nothing to go crazy about here. You had Austin Idol managing Tyrus. So somewhere near the end of the match, Austin Idol handed Tyrus, I guess, a piece of brass knucks, what have you, and he punches Pope, and he got the pinfall win. So with that, he gets himself, I want to believe, a future shot at the championship. So there's that too. And not for nothing too, but Tyrus just looks old. Like, bruh, this is not it. This is not it. But then again, enjoy it now, bruh, because, yeah, this is not it. After that, we had we had a women's tag team match. You had Thunder Rosa and Melina versus Taryn Terrell and Kylie Ray. You guys remember Kylie Ray? She was part of AEW, and then she left, went to Impact Wrestling, and then she left and retired. Well, now she has signed a deal with the NWA. And I'm going to be honest here. And this, again, might upset people. Who the fuck knows? But the reality is this. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, listen, for those of you that are going to say, oh, but she's good, this and that, that's fine and dandy. But it's only a matter of time until she has a fucking breakdown and leaves again and retires from wrestling again. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. So, yeah, enjoy it now, but I just don't see them putting the belt on her based off her track record. That being said, they were booing her. She got the win for her team. I mean, it felt like to me that Terrence Terrell and Kylie Ray were the heels, even though they had just the looks of baby faces. It was good to see Terrence Terrell again. That being said, I'm not dying to see her again down the in the ring. But it was all said and done, Kylie Ray picked up the win for her team. She rolled up, I think it was Melina, grabbed a handful of tights, wasn't shocked that she did it. People were booing her, and then she was smiling away. So there's that. I mean, we'll see where they do with Kylie Ray, but yeah. And then after this, we had the we had a match between Fred Rosser, formerly known as Darren Young, versus the NWA debut of JTG. I thought, honestly, it was a very good, solid match back and forth. JTG did pick up the win, so there was that too. Again, you had to have him win on his debut. And so why the fuck not? I can see him being a television champion down the road in the NWA. Let's see here. What else we had on the show? We had a triple threat match for the NWA tag team championship. You had Aaron Smith and JR Kratos defending the tag title versus Strictly Business of Latimer, Thomas Latimer, and the Masterpiece Chris Adonis versus the War Kings. And I thought this match, for what it was worth, it was a solid match. Somewhere in this match, Kratos had his knee just shattered by the steel steps. The idea was they were not on the same page, and quite frankly, quite possibly, nor was the team of Crimson and his partner. The two of them make what is it? The War Kings, right? But again, it was all over the place. Eventually, it was all said and done. When it was all said and done, right? Aaron Steven and Kratos did pick up the win. So there's that. From there, we had Serena Deeb defending the NWA Women's Championship versus Camille. I thought this match was pretty fun for what it was worth. You guys know Serena Deeb was also in AEW at the buy-in. She defended the title against Riho, which was also a fun match. I'm not saying this wasn't fun either. It was good back and forth. But here's the thing, though. Going into this, I kind of knew that Camille was going to win. It was about time, and it finally happened. And with that being said, I do know that Serena Deeb has signed a deal with AEW. So likely she'll just pop up in AEW. But I do look forward to seeing Camille show up on Dynamite. Now, if I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong. But we'll see. We'll see where they go with that. And then we had the main event. We had Nick Aldis defending the NWA World Championship versus Trevor fucking Murdoch. Now, listen. I have no issue with the match on paper. I don't. What I did not like was the finish. Again, this is your first show back in front of a live crowd to some capacity. And you give them the ending that you gave. So they attempted to do the Dusty finish. Now, what am I meaning with that is simple. So somewhere in this match, again, Trevor Murdoch was just giving the beating to Nick Aldis, right? And Nick Aldis' reply to this was, I guess, attack the referee from behind with the steel chair. The referee's out. So in the process of all this, Trevor Murdoch hits Aldis with a steel chair and then locks in the cloverleaf. The referee, who was attacked from behind with the steel chair by Nick Aldis, gets back in the ring. He sees what's going on, and he calls for the bell. Trevor Murdoch, in his mind, thinks that he won the NWA World Championship. It's finally his, right? To find out that the referee is disqualifying Trevor Murdoch because he thinks that Trevor Murdoch hit him with the steel chair. So in the process, Nick Aldis is still the NWA champion, and people were livid. The people on commentary. You had Joe Galley. Joe Galley, who again, I've never heard the guy go off on commentary, but he was pissed. You had, during this whole thing, Velvet Sky, after Trevor Murdoch cut this promo, though not know what the fuck he has to do, getting teary-eyed. Like, come on, bruh. Come on. And I get what they were trying to do. They're trying to do the dusty finish. And here's the thing. It doesn't work with everyone. And I get it because the NWA, they can pull that off, right? But it doesn't work with everyone. Like I mentioned, right here, it wasn't it, especially not with Trevor fucking Murdoch. But I get it. If you're a diehard NWA fan, this is the way to get you guys to tune in on Tuesday to see what the fuck is going to go on. And that's fine. It's fine and dandy. But it just wasn't it for me. There's people that were saying, oh, they should give the belt to Kenny Omega. Can you imagine if Kenny Omega shows up and challenges Aldis, right? And mind you, Kenny Omega's already the Impact World Champion. He's the AEW World Champion. He is the AAA Mega Champion, right? It's not like he doesn't have enough on his plate as it is, right? But hey, if you guys really wanted him to show up in Atlanta, no, that wasn't going to happen. Listen, and I said this as well. If you're Billy Corgan and if you want someone that's from AEW to hold on to your NWA World Championship, Billy Corgan is going to ask Tony Khan for Cody Rhodes. That's just the way that it is. That's simple. It's not going to be Kenny Omega. So there was that. And then after that, again, you know, Trevor Murdoch cut this promo. He's basically, again, he's upset because in his mind, he won. He should be the champion right now and all that stuff. But we'll see what they're going to do on Tuesday. I just didn't like the finish. I hated that dusty finish. It was so fucking terrible. But hey, what do I know, right? And that was the pay-per-view. Again, I get why they went early because they were not trying to compete with Mayweather versus Logan Paul. But Matt Cardona basically took the life off the NWA pay-per-view, basically, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know, right? After this, what am I going to talk about here? Obviously, it was announced that SummerSlam was going to be in Las Vegas. That's right. It's going to be going down in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday, August 21st from the Allegrant Stadium. I'm hoping I did not butcher that name, but that's where they're going to be at Allegrant Stadium. I'm hoping that I'm saying it right. Yeah, I really, really am hoping that I am pronouncing the stadium name right, but let's find out here, shall we? Let's see here. Here you go. Yeah, it's the Allegan Stadium. Yeah, it's basically what it is. It's the Allegan Stadium, which apparently is the home of the Raiders, and it can hold up to 70,000 people. So that's food for thought. And yes, it's gonna be going on the same day as Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. Now, this is basically WWE. This is the first SummerSlam held in a football stadium. Now, if you're a European viewer, a European wrestling fan, you're gonna say it's bullshit because SummerSlam '92 was held in Wembley Stadium, what you guys call a football stadium, because in Europe, in England in this case, or matter of fact, in general, in Europe, period, soccer is referred to as football. Obviously, here in the States, football is a whole different sport. It is what it is. I don't agree with it, but hey, that's what they call it, right? So I get that. I also said, you know what? To me, they should have had this in Boston. I do think that WWE owes Boston a SummerSlam. In my humble opinion, I get to, hey, they're on the road and they're on that week. They're going to be on the West Coast. It would not make sense to take their show from the West Coast to the East Coast just to go back on the West Coast. No, it wasn't going to happen. That being said, though, again, the idea of having SummerSlam in a stadium, I'm all for it. For the simple fact that, hey, you know, you want SummerSlam to be held to the same standards of WrestleMania, given that same WrestleMania treatment. How many times have we heard from people, oh, SummerSlam is the biggest show of the summer, right? It's almost as important as WrestleMania, almost, right? So it should be held in the stadium, and I'm fine with that. I think that's great. And also, again, if you're gonna be selling tickets, right, you want them to, again, those that are traveling to Vegas, to have a fun time. So what's in Vegas? Obviously, the Las Vegas Strip, the casinos, right? All the stuff, right? You can go have a fun time, a fun night. Yes, you go in the afternoon, watch some wrestling, and then after that, you're off to the Strip, gambling, what have you, having a fun time. Now, people are saying it's going to crash with Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. I kind of disagree with that. And here's why. You see, 9 times out of 10, SummerSlam might start at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which is 7 o'clock our time here on the East Coast. And if it's 4 hours, it's going to end around 9 o'clock. Going to end around 9 o'clock, I'm assuming, right? Pacific time. Manny Pacquiao is not getting in the ring. He's not getting into the boxing ring to fight Errol Spence until 9 p.m. or, you know, whatever the fuck, 10 p.m. that time, Pacific time. In this case, you know what? Let's say 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific time, which will be over here in the East Coast. It would be 9. It will be either 11 p.m. midnight or 11 p.m. So by the time he gets in the ring, SummerSlam's already over. And it's funny because Chase said his plan, because he is going to SummerSlam, his plan is to go to both events on the same day. So, and apparently the stadium from T-Mobile Arena is like a 10-minute walking distance from one another. So his plan is to basically go from SummerSlam all the way to the boxing event. I wish him the best. I hope he does it. That'll be lit. But if we're looking at the SummerSlam show, right, the matches you can make right now in a stadium, I think it's obvious right now. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. There's talks of Cena coming back, and if he does, let him go to SmackDown. Cena and Roman, Cena's attempt to go for 17 times, shut up and take my money, and watch him lose. You can do Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. That is, if Brock is going to be coming back in time. I'm all for that. Why not? That'll be awesome. You can do, I guess, Seth Rollins and Edge. Why not? If they're both on the same brand and there's history there. Remember a couple of years ago when Rollins was threatening to curb stomp Edge, and that's why Cena had to bring back the Authority? Yeah. I don't see why not. I guess you could also do Randy Orton and Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles, I suppose, right? And obviously Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair in the WrestleMania rematch. Now Steven is awake. That's right, Everything Pro Wrestling. Now I'm awake. So fun little fact, I took after the show's over and all that stuff, I went back into bed. I had like a Colombian breakfast, right? I had leftovers, basically. And then I went back to sleep. I didn't wake up till like probably 11-ish, 11 a.m. my time. So there was that. And now I'm awake. I'm still tired. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably not going to watch Monday Night Raw. I'm probably going to stay up, play FIFA, and just call it a night. Here's the thing. I'm going to do the Sammy Guevara thing. I didn't watch it. Like whenever Fuego would ask him, or I guess Brandon Cutler back in the day in BT, when he asked him if he's seen his match, Sammy would say, I didn't watch the match, but I heard it. That's probably what I'm going to do with Raw. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm going to hear it. But back to this whole thing with SummerSlam and all that stuff. Those are the matches that I would do. Again, it's a stadium. You want to sell this out. I wish I was going, but I'm not going to be going. I said this already. If I had to choose between All Out and SummerSlam, I am probably going to choose All Out because it's cheaper just to go to Chicago than it is to Las Vegas. Good luck trying to find a room that weekend. especially when you have both SummerSlam and then you have Manny Pacquiao fighting. Oh, good luck. Good fucking luck. And also the fact that, hey, my brother lives in Chicago, so it serves as a purpose to go visit him. I said that before. So there's that also. But nonetheless, yo, it's been a crazy weekend. It really, really has. With you think about with the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul, you had New Japan early in the morning. Shingo Takagi's the new champion. Matt Cardona showing up on GCW. And that whole Trevor Murdoch Dusty finish, which was a fail and all that stuff. I look forward to this week. There's that too. But I hope you enjoyed this installment of Steve's Kitchen. I know you see the Around the Point logo and all that stuff, but yeah, it is Steve's Kitchen. I want to thank Shaheen from Nuclear Heat Graphic for making that drawing of me with the chef hat that you see there with the glasses and all that stuff. It's literally me to a fucking T. It literally is me to a T. Let's be honest here. Okay. It's funny because, again, when I was doing the cooking videos, I had to make this for me. And then I stopped making cooking videos, not because, hey, I didn't want to do them anymore. It's just that when I do these cooking videos, I'm home alone. When my mother's here, my grandma's here, it's awkward me recording a video in front of my mother or my grandmother. And it's funny too, because yes, my mom knows that I am a podcaster, I'm / YouTuber, right? She knows that I make these videos, right? She knows this already. But I just feel awkward doing this stuff around her in some capacity. So once we are moving, Steve's Kitchen is going to go back to its original format, it being a cooking videos and all that stuff. But I decided, you know what? For the one time, let's see how this goes, right? Short and sweet. It ain't go long, obviously, as well. But yes, if you're asking, yeah, I'm still a little tired. I have now a Game Fuel with me here. The Charged Berry Blast is my favorite flavor. Okay, just saying. Put a little rum, put a little vodka in this. Oh man, it's over. That being said, I'm gonna wrap this up just by now. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Those of you that have tuned in, those of you that are listening on the playback and all that stuff. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram over at Heel Steven. I also do have a TikTok, by the way, which is also at Heel Steven also, by the way. So go follow me there too. All right. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. My mom made dinner. I can smell it from here. I cannot wait to eat it. And that being said, guys, I thank you all for tuning in today. You guys have been awesome. And this has been another installment of another installment of Steve's Kitchen. Peace out, everybody.